エヴァおばさん、ぐっすりでしたね。朝はだいぶ早かったんすか？
まあね。恥ずかしいところを見せちゃったわ。ごめんなさい。
眠れるくらい余裕があるのは大したもんだぜ。バートラなんかずっと落ちるーったの、沈むーったの。
I mean, the shakies are pretty intense, though, not gonna lie. I think I saw sharks too following us. One of them was going, oh, shark! Shark!
まったく退屈しないやつだぜ。
うるせえな。人間誰しも苦手の一つや二つくらいあるもんだぜ。
Bella and Jessica went back out, squabbling merrily. Rudolph also made a face as if asking, Are you alright?
しっかりしろよ。親父たちの顔を見れば眠気もすっ飛ぶさ。せいぜいお互い頑張ろうぜ。
そうね。特に今年はしっかりしないとね。
だな。お互いケツの穴を引き締めてかかろうぜ。
Rudolph said these strict words in a small voice, and only Eva could hear. Failure would not be tolerated in this year's family conference. All their companies were hanging in the balance. Even Rudolph's face looked a little tense. Eva's expression probably looked tense as well.
母さん、荷物を持つよ。甲板に上がろう。
ありがとう。ジョージは本当に気が利くわね。
どうして急にお礼なんか。母さんらしくもない。
エヴァ、ジョージ、到着やで。荷物をまとめるんや。
こらマリア、転ぶから走るのをやめなさい。
It seemed Maria was already getting excited. She ran circles around Hideyoshi, escaping from Rosa, who was trying to catch her. Hmm?
どうしたの母さん。具合悪いの？
ジョージ、荷物を持って先に行ってなさい。母さんは貧血だろ。わしが肩を貸すわ。
そう、わかったよ。先に行ってるよ。
By looking at Eva's peculiar expression, Hideyoshi realized that it had not been a pleasant awakening, and made George go on ahead. Rhoda's family and Rosa's family also went up to the deck, leaving only Eva and Hideyoshi inside the boat. Eva had a vague expression on her face, as though she still hadn't been able to escape from her daydream.
どないしたんや。神妙な顔して。
私、ジョージを自分の復讐の道具にしてたんじゃないかしら。私の兄さんに対する子供じみた敵対心のせいで、あの子の人生を自分のおもちゃにしてしまってはいないかしら。ああ、私はなんてこと、なんてことを。
そんなことあらへん。ジョージはどこに出しても恥ずかしゅうないわしらの自慢の息子や。仮にエヴァの思惑が多少混じっとったとしても、結果オーライっちゅうもんやないか。
It is nice to see Eva reflect on that as well. And, well, true enough, George turned out to be a fine man, despite what your goals were.
エヴァはなも悪うない。むしろジョージは厳しくしつけてくれたと感謝しとるくらいやで。
本当に？ねえ、本当？ジョージは私のこと嫌な母さんだと思ってないかしら？ねえ、ねえ、ねえ、ねえ。
そんなことただの一度も口にしたことあらへんで。エヴァの杞憂や。
秀吉様、皆様下船なさっておりますよ。おや、何か落とし物ですか？お手伝いしましょうか？
Kumasawa had come to check on them when they hadn't come out to the deck. Hideyoshi hid Eva behind his back so that her expression couldn't be seen.
ああ、すまんな。ちょっとわしのネクタイピンがいかれてもうてな。もう大丈夫や。すぐ行くで。外で待っててや。
そうですか。それでは表でお待ちいたしております。
From that almost incomprehensible excuse, Kumasawa realized that something had come up, and disappeared so that she didn't trouble them further. If they stayed here any longer, they would probably make everyone else worry too.
そろそろ行こうか。ジョージたちを心配させてまうで。
私本当にジョージに恨まれてない？
ああ、恨まれてなんかあらへん。むしろ感謝しとるぞ。悪い夢でうなされたんか。また。
Hideyoshi knew that it wasn't rare for Eva to be tormented by nightmares, and it would always become more striking on the days leading up to the family conference. Hideyoshi knew that Eva's relationship with Kraus was still so full of antagonism that it could even be called trauma, and that she still couldn't separate herself from how she'd felt as a child.
それは夢や。わしが一緒にいる。こうして手をギュッと握っとったら、そんな夢もどっか行ってしまうで。な？ほら。
痛いわ。ありがとう。もう平気よ。降りましょう。
ああ、降りようか。みんな待たせてるで。
ごめんなさい。
ん？
さっきあなたのタバコの煙のこと怒鳴ってごめんなさい。
普段ならそんなことで謝らんくせに。悪い夢見た後のお前は気弱でいかん。気にするなや。お前に煙が届いていることを気づかんかったわしが悪いんや。
私のこと嫌いになった？
ならんならん。この程度で嫌いなんて言うとったら3日もたんで。ささ、たったたった。折れるで、折れるで。
秀吉様、エヴァ様、大丈夫ですか？お体が優れませんか？
And this time, God had come. Man, who would have thought that Eva could be this anxious, like, behind the scenes? And I mean this on a whole new level. But yeah, Hideyoshi, the MVP, man. I mean, Kraus, Rudolph, and Kinzo could have definitely... they could have definitely learned a thing or two from him. Granted, we do know that he was not raised by Kinzo, so that's a huge factor. Oh! It looked like they had kept everyone waiting too long, after all. Eva also stood up without grumbling this time. She couldn't keep on forcing her bad mood onto her husband and causing him more trouble. Because that was not something a good wife would do.
大丈夫ですか？体調が気になられるようでしたら、南條先生をお呼びしましょうか。
ありがとう。ちょっと貧血気味でね。もう大丈夫よ。
婦人病中やっちゃ。
で、
気にせんといてや。
もうそんなの人に言わないでよ。恥ずかしいわ。
おお、すまんすまん。
Eva elbowed Hideyoshi in the gut. By that time, her normal expression had returned, which allowed Hideyoshi to relax a little. How lovely. How lovely indeed. The bright sunlight outside was almost enough to really make a person go giddy. A small plank was lowered to get off the boat, and Goro was waiting there, smiling and ready to lend them a hand.
どうぞエヴァ様、お手を。
ありがとう。
六軒島へようこそいらっしゃいました。
おかえりなさい。
When she left the boat, it seemed to Eva as though she had heard the voice of her young self saying welcome back. No, it hadn't seemed that way. Someone had said welcome back to her. After becoming a shameless adult, the voice of her young self was distant.
私は何のために生きてるの？何をどうすれば私はこの猛襲から解き放たれるというの？
Hideyoshi heard her talking to herself. He drew Eva close to him by her shoulder, and just by his firmness, he communicated that there was no need to say anything anymore. Maybe it was because the typhoon was getting closer. The lively cries of the seagulls, which usually greeted them when they arrived, couldn't be heard at all.
6年前のことか。何しろ6年って言ったら小学校丸々一つ分じゃねえか。覚えてろってのが酷な話だぜ。
そうだね。特に若かった僕たちにとっては大きな成長の6年間だったはずだからね。案外自己紹介がなかったら思い出せなかったんじゃないかい？
そうかな。私はバトラだってすぐに分かったぜ。口を聞いてさらに確信できたぜ。
おお、マリア初めて会った。
I mean, surely. 6 years ago, you were free. You were a baby. You couldn't remember a thing, of course.
6年前わかんない。そうですよね。マリア様はまだ3つでしたものね。
それを言われたら俺もだぜ。3歳の頃しか知らないマリアがこんなに大きく成長してるんだから、そりゃわからねえわけだぜ。
After lunch, we had all gone to the beach to walk around, talk and take it easy, enjoying ourselves. Our parents appeared somehow on edge and seemed to have things to catch up on, so we had decided to leave our seats. Just as expected, since it had been 6 years, the conversation focused on me.
しかし本当に背が伸びたね。僕も低いつもりはないけど、とにかくその身長には驚いたよ。
そうですね。6年前のバトラ様をよく覚えておりますが、それでも驚くくらいでした。
だなあ。6年前のバトラからは想像がつかないくらいだったぜ。
みんな案外6年も前のことなんか覚えてるもんだな。俺なんかかなり記憶があやふやだってのによ。
だろうな。私たちのことを思い出すのに少し時間をかけてたみたいだもんな。あれはちょっと傷つくぜ。
いや、さすがに6年前だぜ。覚えてろって方が無理があるぜ。
I mean, seriously. It's as if in your eyes, 6 years means nothing. It's as if you're asking Bella to remember what meals he had like years ago.
6年前のことですと、あまり覚えてはおられないのですか？私はつい昨日のことのように鮮明に覚えておりますが。
シャノンは記憶力がいいからね。6年前にバトラ君がどんなことをしていたとか言っていたとかよく覚えてるんじゃないかい？
そういやそうだよな。 シャノンって妙なところで記憶力がいいんだよな。
マリア覚えるの下手くそ。楽しいことはスイスイ覚えるけど、つまんないのは全然ダメ。
Oh yeah. Pretty sure your little head is filled with tons of fun stuff. You are capable of reproducing those with ease, as if you're a history teacher. Oh. We all laughed, saying that everyone was like that.
シャノン、ちなみに6年前のバトラはどんなだったんだ？何かエピソードを覚えてないのかよ。
Didn't someone say that he had an episode where he was walking around the island, like all naked and such? I think I remember that. That or it was George.
そうですね。確かお帰りの際はこうおっしゃっていました。また来るぜ、See you again。きっと白馬にまたがって迎えに来るぜ。
Oh.
ギャー！ラーメン！うずかぜ
確かにそんな感じだった。6年前のバトラはそんな感じのバカっぽいセリフばかり言ってたぜ。
確かに当時のバトラ君がいかにも言いそうだな。
The knight in shining armor, ready to fight for honor, and the princesses.
恥ずかしい恥ずかしい。
ああ、最高に恥ずかしいぜ。マリアもきっと中学くらいになったらそういう恥ずかしいことが口にしたくなるからね。そういう時は口に出す前にチラシの裏に書いて3度読み直してから口にすべきかどうか考えるんだぞ。じゃねえときっと後悔するからな。いや、誰しもがそういう痛々しい時代をくぐり抜けていくのだ。そうさ。そして身の程を知り恥を覚えて大人になるんだ。そうさ。これは大人への過渡期なら誰もが犯す青春の甘酸っぱくて恥ずかしい消し去りたい記憶なんだ。うわーぐわ
You see, I tend to let my mouth run wild without thinking too much, so I don't remember all the details of everything I say. But when the contents are recited back to me afterwards, it's always something extremely embarrassing. In recent years, I have finally come to understand this weakness, and I've been working hard to refrain from such careless outbursts, but it seems I was just born with the habit of speaking without thinking. And there isn't a whole lot I can do about it.
シャーノン、他にも何か恥ずかしいことは覚えてないのかよ。
まあ他にもいろいろと覚えておりますけれど、そのご本人もお忘れになりたいことみたいなので、これ以上は遠慮させていただきたいと思います。
Nah, nonsense. The elder can take it.
ぶっちゃけると俺はもう何も覚えてないんだ。頼むから思い出させないでくれ。
おお、シャノンがバトラーをいじめてる。
Bullying.
ダメ、いじめはいけないの。
It's not as much bullying as it is a little teasing here, which is good.
別にいじめてるわけじゃないんだよ。この話はこれくらいにしようか。でもシャノン、後でバトラ君のいないところでこっそり教えてね。なんだか面白そうだから。
はい、かしこまりました。
そりゃねえぜ、シャノンちゃんよ。
For a while, Jojaniki teased me by pretending to ask Shannon-chan for more of my embarrassing misspeaks. Lovely. Jojaniki was messing around teamed up with Shannon-chan, but he seemed how to describe it, very candid and frank. He was always frank with his cousins, but he usually took on a reversed, gentlemanly attitude when he came in contact with the servants. When I thought about it, I got a feeling that he was acting a little overly familiar, which seemed slightly weird. Maria started scribbling in a sandwich stick, and George, Aniki, and Shannon-chan joined in, which left me and Jessica off to the side, so I asked her secretly.
Yo, Jessica. ジョージの兄貴ってさ、シャノンちゃんと付き合ってたりする？
おお、なんでわかったんだよ。バトラー、お前見かけより人を見てんな。
Yeah, sadly for you, Baylor, Shannon is taken.
俺、冗談で言ったつもりだったんだけど、
声が大きいって。一応内緒の付き合いってことらしいぜ。特にエヴァおばさんの耳には入れない方がいいよ。
なるほど。使用人との恋か。いやでもいつの間に？はあ、6年ってすげえな。でも確かに兄貴なら人間もできてるし、シャノンちゃんも優しくて海外しそうだし、お似合いかもな。
Actually, 6 years ago, I remember taking notice of her just a little bit. So that's how it is. She really fits well with George Aniki. Nothing I can do about that. Goodbye, my fleeting first love of 6 years ago. Oh. I guess this is more serious than I thought. Sorry, Baylor. Which means that my collection of embarrassing lies that Shannon-chan just held back on probably has something to do with that. I cannot take it. I can't take it.
兄貴たち、付き合ってどのくらいになるんだ？
どの段階から付き合ってると呼ぶのかにもよるだろうけど、確実に1年以上は続いてると思うぜ。双方片思い時代を含めると数年になるんじゃねえのかな。
Before I realized that, the two of them had separated themselves from the group and were walking down the beach, talking about something. It looked calm, and rather than a light relationship between two lovers, it looked like more of a serious relationship, as though they were already engaged.
6年か。でっけえ月日だな。俺にとってのこの6年は何だったんだ？図体がでかくなっただけだな。親父との親子喧嘩で意地を張り合ううちに6年も経っちまったってだけのくだらない時間だったな。
バートラの方こそどうなんだよ。彼女とかできたのかよ。
さて、どうだろうな。一緒に遊ぶ女の子は何人かいるぜ。だけどオンリーワンって関係はまだねえな。俺がお子様なんだろうよ。誰かと二人っきりでいるより、みんな大勢でワイワイやってる方が楽しいように思えるんだ。
そりゃなんともバトラらしいぜ。
Yeah, it surely reflects on present Baylor quite well. What happened last time.
でも女友達との関係はちゃんとしっかりしておけよ。女の思い込みとコミュニティは怖えぜ。
Amen to that. Amen.
勝手にバトラーをめぐって暗闘が繰り広げられて、勝手に誰かが泣いたり傷ついたりしているかもしれないぜ。
おかしいな。同じ忠告をつい先週クラスの女から受けた気がするぜ。なんだってんだろうな。どうしてみんなで楽しく過ごせねえんだ。そうまでしてつがいになりたいのかね。
バートラーがまだそういう相手に会ったことがねえからだろうぜ。まあおいおいそういう女に出会うこともあるだろうよ。気長に待つこったな。
なんだよ。 まるでお前にはもうそういう相手がいるみたいな言い方じゃねえかよ。お前はどうなんだよ。彼氏とかできたのかよ。
私かよ。いや、
なんつうわかりやすい反応だよ。見たところ気になる男はいるけどまだ告白もできてねえってそういうところだろ。
そういうわけでは、先生、私のことなんかどうでもいいだろ。
話を振ってきたのはそっちのくせになんで俺が逆ギレされなきゃならねえんだ。女って生き物は質問ばかりで、そのくせ自分が質問に答えることは決してないんだよな。ずるい生き物だぜまったく。
まあそのよ。
And they expect us to read their minds or something. Some girls can be really cruel on that aspect. It can be really painful for me. You know, speaking of all this, where is Kanon, by the way? I mean, he is more than likely working inside the mansion, but boy, do I wanna hear how he reacts to this sort of stuff if we corner him.
告白はさ、一度はしたんだよ。まあ盛大に空振りでさ。
I mean, we've had these groups before in the past, first and the second game, talking to each other between cousins and Shannon. It would be nice if Kanon also joined us, but yeah, I guess I can understand his personality and all that. He is pretty low in the shadows and all that. He is that type of person. He doesn't care about this sort of stuff that much.
ごめんなさいってか。
いや、まあ私がすごく一方的だったんで面食らわれたというのかな。そういう対象だとも思われてなかったという雰囲気。
そりゃあそうだろうよ。お前の言葉遣いは男勝りだからな。もうちょいおしとやかにしないと男心をくすぐらないぜ。
Oi, better. Pay attention to what you say here.
やっぱり私みたいな言葉遣いじゃ受け悪いかな。
まあ言葉遣いが全てじゃないだろうが、お前みたいな普段の言葉遣いが悪いやつが急にまともな言葉で話すように努力し始めたら、そういう気概みたいなもんでドキッときちまう男もいるかもな。
Okay, that is a little better. But what do I know? I have been starting to suspect lately that I do not know how to talk to girls anymore.
そうなんだ。そうか。
Jessica had suddenly started speaking meekly and was faintly blushing. I see. Even though her confession didn't go well, it looks like she still hasn't given up. Yeah, I totally get that. After seeing how close George, Aniki, and Shannon-chan have gotten, it is no wonder she'd started wanting a boyfriend as well. 6 years. Those 6 years of puberty are pretty important, and they go by so fast. With the typhoon approaching, the clouds had grown steadily grayer. Yet, even so, I had this really refreshing feeling. Maybe I'll start thinking more seriously about the opposite sex, more than just the size of their boobs. I mean, that's a good start, though there are a lot of things to consider. It's what I assume. You are the hero of this story, so it is guaranteed you will have someone one day. So why should you even be worried about that in the first place?
ところで ジョージの兄貴は使用人のシャノンちゃんと付き合ってるわけだが、まさかジェシカまでってことはないよな。
どうしてそう思うんだよ。
そういや、バラ庭園で挨拶したカノン君って若い子、口下手だからってジェシカやたらとかばってたよな。
いや、そんなことは。勘繰りすぎだって。
じゃあさ、これだけは教えろよ。今この瞬間、ジェシカが狙ってる男は半径1キロ以内にいるか？
いや、それはどうだろう。
Kankun is the only boy on this island now who could possibly become her boyfriend. Oh my. Hold on a second, I have something to do. Okay, now I'm back. What was I trying to say before? I mean, I guess it makes sense that Kanon is the only boy on this island, therefore Jessica would think of him as her next potential boyfriend. I mean, they've known each other for quite some time. They live under the same roof and all. I mean, I guess there's the proximity factor of it all. Like, people get attracted and develop love to those that are familiar, like, without knowing, too. So, judging by her reaction, I'm probably right on. I don't think of the Shirmiya family as a normal family, but two people in love with servants? I'd have never dreamed that two pairs of Romeo and Juliet would be right next to me. Auntie Eva would probably become an obstacle to George, Aniki, and Shannon-chan's love. If Auntie Eva learns that the partner of her only son, the apple of her eye, is Shannon-chan, she'll probably scream at her with cries of wretched servant, homebreaker, and so forth. And the relationship between Jessica and Kanon-kun will probably be just as full of difficulties. Natsuki also seemed the type to be strict about that kind of thing. After all, Jessica's husband would probably become the head of the Ushirimiya family in the future. If that person had once been a servant working for the family, well, no doubt things would be complicated. Kanon is the next head of the family. How interesting.
ま、人の恋路なんてそれぞれさ。一緒にいて楽しい相手とつがいになりゃいいじゃねえか。つがいってのは互いが互いを認め合う以外に何の許可もいりやしない。親がどうこう、家がどうこうなんて気にしたら負けだぜ。それを忘れるなよ。半端な気持ちで付き合うんじゃねえぜ。
恋もしたことねえくせに達観したようなことを言いやがって。
Yeah. How dare he?
恋は損得感情でするなよ。ハートでしろよ。俺が言いたいことはそんだけさ。んじゃな。See you again. Have a nice day.
See you again. Have a nice day.
ジョージ兄さん、シャーノン、聞いてパートだったらこいつまた面白いセリフを言い出したぜ。
何も言ってないって。何も言ってないって。
Yeah, you flew too close to the sun, Batora. And Silas is gold. As golden as a butterfly.
茶化すな、茶化すな。
マリア聞いてた。マリア聞いてた。See you again. See you again.
For a while, we forgot about the wind getting stronger and playing around on the beach. This meeting with my cousins, who had grown so much over the last 6 years and were thoroughly enjoying their youth, felt really refreshing. It was a little late now, but I realized that I should have buried the hatchet a lot sooner and returned to the Shirimiya family.
いとこ同士ってのもたまにはいいもんだな。
マリアもいとこで集まるの楽しくて好き。
そうだな。俺たちももういい年なんだ。別に親がいなくても会えるだろう。たまにはいとこだけで集まって遊ぶのも悪くないかもしれないな。
それはいい提案だね。いつかそういう機会を設けてもいいかもしれないね。
同感だね。私たちいとこはいつまでもずっと仲良しがいいよ。
おいおい、そこを強調するとまるで普段の親戚同士の仲が悪いように聞こえちまうぜ。
Jojo and just got left, but it felt just a little strained. Did I say too much? Judging by how our parents had made quiet expressions and tired faces every once in a while during the boat ride and at the airport, maybe that was something I shouldn't have said.
そうだな。ジェシカの言う通りだぜ。俺たちはいつまでも仲良しでいようぜ。
マリアも一緒。みんな仲良し。
Friendship! Till death do us apart. In more ways than one.
そうだね。うん。僕たちはいつだってみんな一緒だよ。みんな仲良しだよ。
私たち何恥ずかしいこと言い合ってんだろうな。なんだか照れちまうぜ。
でもとても大切なことだと思いますよ。人は願わねばいつまでも一緒にいることどころか仲良くいることさえ難しい生き物なのですから。
そうだね。みんなが仲良くいられることを決して当たり前なことだと思ってはいけないね。
知り合いの魔女が言ってた。幸せはみんなが信じなくちゃ叶わないんだって。
確かにね。信じる力には魔法が宿るかもしれない。
Indeed. Though sources may vary.
それを全員が信じたなら、きっと幸せを運んできてくれるだろうね。
よし。なら恥ずかしいことのついでだ。私たちはみんなで信じ合うと誓おうぜ。みんないつまでも仲良しで、いつまでも幸せでいようって。
Screw becoming like our parents. Searching for each other's weaknesses, going after grandfather's fortune. Screw all that forever.
おう、俺たちはみんないつまでも仲良しで幸せだ。それをみんなで信じようぜ。
Indeed. I do still believe in Beller, Jessica, and George never becoming like their parents. That they will create bright futures. Maria is something that we will have to work harder with, though. What with her absorbing everything Beatrice tells her. And she needs some good witch Beatrice instead. Oh hail, good witch Beatrice! No matter how long it had been, or how much fun we were having, it didn't stop the dark clouds from approaching Rokkenjima. I wonder if the typhoon will pass, and show us the refreshing sky before we leave this island. And the seagulls crying once more. Umineko Naku Koro ni. Umineko Naku Koro ni. Who gives a crap about what the parents are plotting? Who gives a crap about the inheritance and the honor of our family? We're so young, and we're renewing our old friendship. Every one of us believes together that we can all be happy. So, I want this day to end, without anything weird occurring. In peace and happiness. Calmly. No. Not, I want it to end. Please, let it end. Yeah! Beato Ichi. I mean, at least give Battler some moments of peace before the madness starts again. I mean, yeah, we had our fair share of fun with the stakes and all, but, you know, it's like junk food. Yeah, it's tasty, but, you know, at least throw in some salad once in a while, like something healthy.
お前は出るなよ。現れるなよ。くそくそくそ。
待たせたな。ようやく新しいゲームの用意が整ったぞ。さあさあ始めようではないか。惨劇の物語を。
Alright, time to get back to work.
訪れよ、雨よ、風よ、台風よ。この島をうつしおより切り離す。異界へ魔界へ幻想界へ六軒島を放り込め。
And so, the tale repeated for the third time. Whoa, so fast. The sea was angry that day, my friends. However, before the endless switch, what point was there in counting 1, 2, 3? There was probably no point at all. After all, this tale of fantasy would be repeated endlessly, until the match was settled, and either Battler or the witch surrendered.